Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, my name is Sophie and I would love it if you clicked that big red subscribe button down below. I talk about language learning a lot, I make travel videos, and I'm also currently on a semester abroad here in Lyon in France, so I also talk about that a lot as well. So if you like any of those types of videos, then definitely make sure to hit that big red subscribe button down below and click that notification bell as well so you never miss a video. But anyway, this video is going to be an exciting one because it's going to be another language app review, and you all seem to really like the last one I did. But this one is on an app that I've never actually used before, so I'm going to be testing it out, and I'm going to give my first impressions, but also I'm going to continue to use it throughout the rest of this week so that I can give you a really good thorough review. So hopefully you find this useful, and it is about the language learning app called Ling. Now, Ling is a language learning app that I don't really know a lot about, so I'm really excited to try this. I was contacted by a member of the marketing team from Ling about trying out this app, testing it out, so just a slight disclaimer there, but this video is not sponsored by Ling at all, and all opinions are my own. I do, however, have an affiliate link which I will leave down below in the description box, so if you do decide to download this app after watching this video, you can go click that link down below. It does really help me out, but obviously that you do not have to click that link and sign up through that link, but if you do choose to sign up, I would really appreciate if you used that link. And yeah, they have given me premium access, free premium access to test it out. I haven't used it yet, so yeah, gonna try it for the first time now, and yeah, so it's going to be exciting. Okay, so first of all, before I actually open up the app and test it out, I thought I would take a look at what it says about the app on the App Store and what you can do with this app, because I thought, you know, that might be useful and interesting. So yeah, it says there's 200 comprehensive lessons from beginner to advanced, so that's good. They go for different levels, good. Easy, all essentials in your pocket, conversation, listen to 200 dialogues, quizzes, quiz your language skills, write, polish your writing skills, talk, practice speaking with locals, and it says there's over 50 plus languages on Ling, which is really, really good. So yeah, so I'm gonna open the app now, Okay, so I've opened the app now, and it says that I can set up a weekly reminder if I want to. You don't have to. I know some people hate the weekly reminder notifications that Duolingo sends or whatever, but well, actually they don't even send weekly, they send them daily. But at least here you can choose, you know, what time of day you want your reminder. So if you know that you plan to learn your practice your language, I don't know, languages at 6 PM every day, because that's when you're free and that's when you've got time, you can set your reminder for 6 PM. So I do like that. I think that's good that you can choose when you want to set your reminder for. So when do I want to set my reminder for? I mean, I'm gonna say 9 PM. So I've chose French. There are a bunch of other languages. I want to see if I can see them all. Yeah, so there's French, Afrikaans, Albanian, Arabic, Armenian, Bengali, Bosnian, oh god, Bulgarian, Burmese, Cantonese, Chinese, Croatian, Czech, Danish, like the list goes on and on. Obviously they've got English, yeah, they've got a lot of languages that aren't necessarily super popular, so if you want to learn a language that's not super popular, this is great. Like they've got Georgian on here. I've never met anybody who is learning Georgian, but you know, there must be people out there who are learning Georgian and want to learn Georgian. So you know, if you're one of those people, you know, this app could be the app for you. Hindi, Indonesian, Canada, I don't know what that is. So yeah, there's languages on there I don't know. That's interesting. Korean, I think I'm going to try out the Korean as well. I think I'm going to try out French and Korean because obviously I'm in France at the moment and I want to improve my French. And I think I have like an intermediate level of French, so that would be interesting. But Korean, I've started doing a Korean course here, a beginner's course in Lyon, so I think it'll be quite good to see the difference in like the beginner's lessons and the intermediate lessons, and maybe I'll try out German and try out some advanced lessons as well. We will see, but yeah, definitely will be interested to try out Korean, as I literally like no Korean and it's so different to all my other languages, so to see how much Korean I can learn with this app will definitely be very interesting. But I'm going to start with French. So yeah, so I can choose my level, so unit 1 to 10. I'm going to say intermediate is unit 11 to 20. You got upper intermediate, unit 21 to 30, advanced, and expert. Oh, they got expert, okay. Should we try upper intermediate? Yeah, upper intermediate. Travel in the classroom, post office, bank, music, sightseeing, accommodation, relationship, at the airport, meeting the doctor, emergency. I'm going to do meeting the doctor even though it's not the first lesson, because I feel like that's a very useful lesson to know, especially as I am currently living in France. If I do need to go speak to a doctor, I need to know how to say these things. So it looks like you have loads of different lessons, followed by, actually I don't know why I'm trying to show you because I'm screen recording this anyway, followed by speaking exercises and then an exam. So yeah, that's definitely interesting. Let's try a lesson. Try the first one.
Sa tête a été blessée. Sa tête a été blessée.
And you can listen to it slowly as well, which is good. Match the cards. Okay. Mal de tête. I don't particularly like that I have to match the cards with a picture and not a word, because like I have this problem with drops sometimes where I forget which picture is for which word when the pictures are similar. Hopefully these pictures won't be similar. Here I could figure out that which one's headache. I can figure out which one is stress, and I can figure out which one is to start from these pictures.
Fièvre. Il a eu de la fièvre pendant 3 jours.
But I do feel like it could be an issue if there were some words that were similar and pictures that were similar. I could end up getting the answers wrong just because I won't know the right pictures. So I'll update you on that, how I find that with matching pictures. Okay, so I like the dialogues, and then you can pause them and stop. Kind of reminds me of those stories on Duolingo's stories a bit. I definitely like dialogue. Dialogues are always useful to just hear what an actual conversation would be like, and to learn new words and phrases and just hear everything that you're learning in the lesson, like in an actual situation. So here someone is like talking to a doctor about headaches that they've been experiencing, and yeah, and you can hear like the doctor is asking them questions about their headaches to find out more, to give them a proper diagnosis, or like to tell them what they can do to solve the problem, fix the headaches. So yeah, it's definitely good. And it tells you as well if it's formal or informal, which is also useful, because it's always useful to know when to use formal dialogue and informal dialogue, and when to know like the difference between formal or informal, because you don't want to go and speak to somebody, a native speaker, of a language you're learning, and be really informal when you're supposed to be formal, because people can find that quite rude. I mean, sometimes they might realise that you're not a native speaker and understand it and be okay with it, but obviously sometimes they might find it rude. So, and in some cultures it's definitely really important to, really important to, get that level of formality right. So yeah, it's definitely really good that they tell you if it's formal or informal. Okay, so I've completed all of the lessons about seeing a doctor, and I've decided that actually I'm going to test out the speaking and the exam section, kind of like have a live reaction of me testing that out. So yeah, I've decided to do that. Just so you know, I've now got 800 bananas and 9 stars. I need to find out what I can do with those bananas and those stars and get back to you all about that. But yeah, right now I'm going to check out the speaking, test that out, and the exam. Le dentiste. Okay, it gave me poor, but like, I literally had to say it 3 times before it even did anything. And I don't think it was like that bad, my pronunciation. Like, I know my French isn't perfect, but yeah, I'm not sure I like this speaking bit. I think it needs to be better. It just seems like I speak and then the microphone still looks like it's recording, so I touch it to try and stop it, but that doesn't work. Like, I don't know if there's a way to stop it. It doesn't seem to realise once I've stopped speaking. I'm gonna try speaking slower. Maybe I'm speaking too quickly. Yeah, I'm gonna try that. Hello, so it's taken me about a week, but I've figured out how the speaking feature on this app actually works. So I'll show you how it works now, and I'm definitely having a much better experience with it now that I know how it actually works. But yeah, I'll show you now. Well, at least this is how it works on an iPhone, how I figured out that it works for me. It might be slightly different on Android. To be fair, maybe I could have figured out sooner if I just like clicked on the help button, but no, I didn't do that, did I? But yeah, I figured it out in the end just by trial and error. So yeah, I'll show you now. So basically, go on speaking, and obviously you click on the microphone, you say it, repeat the phrase that you're meant to say or the word, you repeat it, and then you double tap the microphone icon. At least that's how it seems to work for me. So I'll do it now.
Invité.
Invité. So I got 71%, so not the best, but I got a lot better than I was previously, and I'm not sitting around now waiting for this to just stop or getting bored in the end and pressing skip and then getting a really bad grade because of that. So that's good. And now when I play it back, it's just that's it. So, okay, so I've been using the Ling app now for about a week. It's actually been slightly over a week just because I missed one of the days. I was just traveling and I was really tired from all the traveling, so it didn't end up doing any language learning then, which is bad because I know it says you've always got 5 minutes, and you know, I did have 5 minutes to spare. I was meant to do it, but I didn't anyway, so I yeah, left it a little longer than a week because I wanted to make up for it and have 7 days testing out the app so that I could give you all like a full review, the best review that I possibly could. And yeah, I actually ended up trying it out for Spanish and German as well, although I said that I was only going to try it out for French and Korean because I really wanted to get an idea of whether it was different for certain languages, you know, like just the quality was different, and also wanted to try out different levels so I could get an idea of whether, you know, the levels are really, you know, accurate. Can I say accurate? I don't know, whether the levels are really good for, you know, or whether it's better to just use this app for beginners or just advanced, you know, stuff like that really. So I really wanted to try that out, so I did. So yeah, now what you've been waiting for, the big review. I'm gonna split it into little sections, reviewing different things. So yeah, definitely check out the timestamps down below if there's one particular aspect, one particular feature to this app that you're really interested in, you know, knowing more about. So yeah, shall we get on with the overall review? Okay, so first of all, the difference between languages. I have noticed no difference in the quality of the lessons and the features for different languages. I have only tried it for Korean, French, Spanish and German, so you know, I haven't tested it out for every language, so I do not know, but you know, I tested it out for 4. I feel like that's quite a good amount, so I feel like the quality is going to be the same roughly for, you know, each of the different languages, which is great. We love that. I will, however, say that I particularly liked this app for Korean, not because the quality of the Korean language course was, you know, way better than French, Spanish, and German, but because you could turn off the romanization. There have been other apps that I've used for Korean, such as Drops, and I haven't been able to figure out how to turn off the romanization. I don't know if you can, but I haven't been able to figure out how to do it. So I love that I was able to figure out how to turn off the romanization pretty quickly, because, you know, I need to understand the Korean alphabet. And I feel like with any language that has a different alphabet, it's better to understand that alphabet and not have to use romanization. As soon as you can do that, I feel like, you know, you can read a lot better. If you go to a country where they speak that language, the signs probably aren't going to have romanization, and also just I feel like you can pronounce words a lot better as soon as you learn, you know, the alphabet. So I really liked that about Korean. So yeah, that was good, and I'm guessing for other languages that use a different alphabet too, there will be the option to turn off romanization as well. So, you know, maybe it would also be a good app for if you're learning Mandarin or Russian, or, you know, I don't know, any language that uses a different alphabet. So yeah. Now, the difference between levels. Now, this app offers lessons from beginners levels up into advanced, well, expert actually. I think it goes beginner, lower intermediate, upper intermediate, advanced, expert, if I'm remembering correctly. I haven't tested out the lower intermediate, not gonna lie, but yeah, I've tested out the expert, I've tested out the advanced, and I've tested out the upper intermediate and the beginners. I use the beginners for Korean, and I'm really loving the beginners feature for Korean. I'm really enjoying Korean and going over everything that I learn in class with that app, especially as currently I am learning Korean through the medium of French. So I feel like it's really good to have something that I could just go over Korean with outside of class, just as extra practice, and make sure that I really understand everything, and also just really reinforce everything that I learn. I feel like with a beginner's language, I always need to do extra work to reinforce stuff at the beginning, because yeah, I need to make sure nothing really clicks at the beginning. But yeah, the reason I didn't like it so much for like advanced and expert is just because I just felt like it was a bit easy. Now, I don't know, I don't mean to sound big-headed, but at my university we're always told that we have an advanced level. So like in my German classes and my Spanish classes, we are told that we are advanced speakers. So I tried out the advanced for Spanish and I tried out the expert for German, just because I feel like my German is slightly better than my Spanish due to having spent some time living in Germany. But I just feel like, you know, there were a few words that I didn't know, so it was great to learn a few new words. So I wouldn't not use it for German and Spanish, and I wouldn't not use it for advanced level, because you can still learn something. But personally, I feel like the sentences were quite easy for me personally. So yeah, I'm not saying don't use it as advanced, but I definitely feel like it's more effective using it as a beginner or an intermediate learner. But either way, any app should be used as, you know, something extra on top of your learning. You shouldn't just be relying on an app solely to learn a language. So yeah. So my opinion on the lessons, I feel like this is very important. So yeah, I've noticed for each category, under each of the different levels, there is 4 different lessons, followed by then a speaking kind of exam, and then like a bit that's called just exam. And I like the lessons, I think they're good. I was worried about the picture matching thing when I first tried it, because I was worried that maybe I would get some words wrong due to just not being sure what the picture is. Like, and I feel like it kind of tests you a little bit on your picture memory, not so much your knowledge. Oh, it's not focusing. not so much your knowledge of, you know, understanding the words. You know, I feel like maybe a translation would be better. However, I didn't actually have any problem with this picture issue in the end, really. I thought that I might have a problem with it, but I didn't really. I seemed to still be, you know, being able to figure out what picture matched with what word in French, Korean, German, etc, etc. So I didn't have a problem with that. And to be fair, for some people who are visual learners, a picture might work better. Personally, the only thing that I would prefer is maybe if it was a picture and then the translation in English or whatever language you and choosing to learn this other language through the medium of. But yeah, there wasn't an issue with it, so that was good. And I like that you can you know, go over any lesson again. I like that you earned like little coins for each lesson, and bananas or whatever made me feel like, you know, achieving something. It's good. So yeah, personally I liked the lessons, no issues with the lessons. Oh, oh dear. And now to talk about the speaking feature, which, you know, it's going to be interesting, seeing as I didn't have the best first impression of the speaking feature, as I couldn't figure out how to work it properly. If you watched my first impression section of the video and not just my overall like reviews, my breakdowns of each of the different sections, yeah, I had trouble figuring out how to work it. I was touching the microphone icon to record me repeating each phrase, saying each phrase or word aloud, and it wasn't stopping the recording, and I was just sitting there waiting, and it was picking up all the background noise and then saying that I was doing poorly, even when sometimes I didn't feel like I was necessarily doing, you know, saying each of the phrases and words that badly. But since I figured out how to actually work it, you double tap the microphone icon after you finish recording. It's been fine. I've been getting a lot better scores on the speaking, and I have been liking it, although it's still probably maybe not my least favourite feature on the app. But yeah, I thought there were still some times where it was saying that I weren't, you know, it wasn't giving me the best percentage because it was saying that I wasn't pronouncing certain letters. But when I was like listening back to the recording, because you can listen back to yourself, I feel like I was pronouncing those letters. But obviously that could be me, you know, being convinced that my pronunciation in these languages is so much better than it actually really is. Because, you know, at the end of the day, I'm not a native speaker, so my pronunciation, you know, I am going to make pronunciation mistakes, and the app might be right. I might have just been making pronunciation mistakes. You know, I don't think it's necessarily bad, the speaking feature. It's just not my favourite feature. But it never seems to be my favourite feature with any of the language apps that I've tried, so yeah, that's really not surprising. And I wouldn't say that the speaking feature on this app is, you know, any worse than any other app that I have tried. So yeah. And my opinion on the exam feature, I don't really have anything to say about the exam feature. You know, it was good. You just get asked 10 questions. It's basically just a way of reviewing everything that you've just learned in the lessons, and you get like little crowns for it, and I think that goes towards your overall like score for the category. I don't know why I made that icon, but whatever, that gesture, I don't even know I don't know what it's called, the little finger thing. I don't know why I did that. Yeah, personally I don't have anything to say about it. I mean, it was good to go over everything. It's just 10 questions. You can do the exam again and again. It was good. I don't really have much to say about it. And my review of the chatbots. This is like a little extra thing outside of the lessons. I think it's great that they've got a chatbot. Yeah, I think it's great. But personally, I don't think I really like it. I mean, I only tried it out with French, and I tried it out for 2 lessons with French, and I don't think it's bad. Like, you can definitely learn stuff from it. I definitely learned stuff from it. I just feel like the conversations were a bit weird, a bit bizarre. Like, I tried it, I think it was like a dating one, and I just felt like, I was like, would French people actually say these things to each other when they're asking each other out on a date? Like, at least, like, I don't know, I feel like it was very like formal, very like, I don't know, maybe like an old-fashioned way of asking someone out on a date. I feel like my generation probably wouldn't ask people out on a date in that way, but then again, I don't know, maybe in France that's how they do things. I mean, I've only been living here for a few months and I haven't been on any dates, so I don't know. And then I tried out the talking about food one, and it was just like really quick. It was very short conversation, but I feel like definitely for a beginner the chat box would be great. Maybe I should try out the chat box for Korean, chatbot for Korean. I probably should, because I feel like I'll probably have a great time with it for Korean. A great time. I'll probably find it quite useful for Korean, because I'm not really like, yeah, I can't have a conversation in Korean at the moment. I can just say my like no name and where I'm from, and I can recognize certain words, basic words, but that's it. So yeah, that would probably be a good thing to do, to try out the chat box for Korean. And I recommend trying out using the chatbot for your beginners languages, but maybe, you know, if you've got an advanced language, maybe the chatbot isn't the best. Okay, and my review of the review section of the app. So basically at the top of each lesson you can see this bit where it's like words to review, although it's actually phrases as well. I tried it out today for the first time, and I mean, it's standard, it's just going over everything that you've learnt, but it's just a mixture. It's not, you know, it's a mixture of everything you learnt for the different lessons from that language. It's good. It's always good to review stuff, go back over stuff. I feel like if I don't review stuff, I forget it. If I don't, you know, there are some like basic words in, say, German, for example. I guess I can call German my second language, that, you know, I forget sometimes, just because, even though like I learnt them when I was like 12, just because if I'm not using them, like, I just forget them, and I know them, they're in my brain, you know, they're stored away in there somewhere, but just sometimes I just forget them for a minute, just a brief minute. So, you know, reviewing is good, and it's always good to review and revise stuff and go over stuff. So yeah, I like that they have just a general review section on the app, and you can go over everything for that language that you've learned. Okay, and what you've all been waiting for, my overall review of the app. I liked it. I mean, there's loads of different features, loads of different languages. I don't really have anything negative to say about the app, other than, you know, I didn't have the best time with the speaking feature, but like, I never have the best time with a speaking feature for any app, and, you know, the speaking feature is still good. They're still good, and I like that, you know, you can hear everything. Yeah, I really like the layout of the lessons. Really like it, and I will be continuing to use this app, especially for Korean. I feel like for beginner's language, yeah, it's great. Intermediate language, it's great. For advanced languages, just every so often. I might use it for my German and Spanish every so often, and, you know, my French, I'll use it probably a bit more than my German and Spanish, because I'm living in France at the moment, so I need to speak French. But Korean, I feel like that's the language I'm going to use it for the most, because it's my beginner's language. And yeah, definitely recommend it for beginners and intermediate, but, you know, any language is always good. It's definitely a fun app, quick and easy, very easy to use, highly recommend. I actually have a lecture now. Actually, the lecture started 1 minute ago, so I'm gonna go. I need to go to that class. So thank you all for watching. Make sure to hit that big red subscribe button down below if you'd like to see more videos like this one, and yeah, give it a big thumbs up so that I know you enjoyed it, so I know that you want more language app reviews. And yeah, comment down below if you've used this app, if you liked it, what languages you're learning, what your favorite language learning apps are, or if there's any language learning apps that you want me to try out and test out. So yeah, and don't forget, I've got an affiliate link down below to sign up for the app if you do want to get this app. So yeah, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!